Hey there, welcome to Moms with Mouse Ears, your guide to the magic. Today we're sharing our honest review of Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa from a family perspective if you have school-age children or older. Is this elegant resort worth it for your next trip to Disney World? Let's talk about all of the advantages and some disadvantages about staying here. So it goes without saying, this is a classic Disney resort, and this is definitely someplace that's fun to visit when you're at Walt Disney World. When you walk into the Grand Floridian, you definitely feel this kind of upscale atmosphere that is lively and fun. With its Victorian charm, a grand lobby, and some classic Disney touches throughout, it really does kind of feel like you stepped into the middle of a storybook. So our kids love seeing the live music there, and I especially love the decor here, so from all of those angles, it's a really fun resort to be at. So we did stay here in a standard room, and our room was well appointed with elegant furnishings and thoughtful details all throughout. I loved the Mary Poppins refresh, and these color schemes are some of my absolute favorite. I especially enjoyed seeing all the little hidden gems throughout the room, and the penguin on the light fixture on the ceiling was one of my favorite little hidden details. We found the beds were super comfortable, and there was lots of room inside the standard room for our family. We also really loved the balcony that overlooked the pool. It gave us a peaceful view to enjoy during our downtime, and we really enjoyed our time in the room. However, over in the bathroom area, there was one design choice that really stood out, and unfortunately not in a good way. So the sliding barn style door on the bathroom that led to the toilet and shower area, it looked very sleek, but unfortunately whenever you would close it, it doesn't fully seal when it's closed. So there's about a kind of half-inch gap all around the door. So what this means is there's very little sound privacy happening with this door. Whatever happens on one side of this door, you're very clearly hearing on the other side of the door, which that could be a little awkward if you're sharing the room with your kids and other adults. And especially we have a friend stay coming up at Disney, and I completely ruled out this resort when I'm staying in a room with a number of other ladies. That would be a complete no-go for me. There are two sliding doors that you can go ahead and slide the exterior door to try to get a little bit more privacy, but then that puts you in the situation of only one person being able to use the bathroom at a time. So this really did stand out as a issue that would prevent our family from booking here in the future. Now, if you're staying there with much littler kids that maybe aren't even using the toilet yet, and you are well acquainted with everyone in your room, then maybe this is not such a huge issue. This just really stood out because we were here on a resort tour where we had stayed at a number of different resorts, and this was the only resort with this issue. So we just immediately had it stand out as being an issue. But the Grand Floridian does have a number of family amenities like a zero entry pool and a really fun splash pad area. They also have outdoor movie nights, and if you're planning resort days, it is just a short monorail ride away from Magic Kingdom. So we also really appreciate the range of dining here, from the quick service at Gasparilla Island Grill, and also a number of great signature restaurants like Narcosis. We ate there on one of the evenings we were at the resort. So there's a lot of great dining that's just fun to stop by and have at the Grand Floridian. In fact, I often like to stop by and visit 1900 Park Fair. Even when I'm not staying at the resort, it's just a really great meal. So the location can be considered a perk, but it can also go either way. You're on the monorail loop with quick access to Magic Kingdom. There's also a walking path to get over to Magic Kingdom, and after the fireworks, if you want to use that walking path, it can be a little bit quicker maybe. It is a bit more difficult to get over to Epcot since you'll need to switch monorails at the Transportation and Ticket Center to get over to that theme park. So if you're planning one theme park day at each of the theme parks, the advantage of the monorail was really quite minimal. Additionally, the Grand Floridian shares buses to Hollywood Studios and Emerald Kingdom with the Polynesian Resort. And during the holidays, the monorail line can get quite busy with people visiting the resorts to see all of the holiday decor. So the Grand Floridian would never be my top pick for where to stay during the holidays because of the extra foot traffic it receives. And when choosing between the three monorail resorts, the Polynesian Resort is our family's top choice. It's within walking distance to the Transportation and Ticket Center, which can make getting to Epcot a little bit easier depending on which building you're staying in at that resort. And while we love visiting Grand Floridian for dining, Polynesian has our favorite dining locations at all of the monorail resorts. So in a nutshell, here's our honest take. While the Grand Floridian is absolutely beautiful and offers some convenience and luxury packaged together, it may not be the best fit for every family. For our family with a little bit older kids, the sliding bathroom door was really a bit of a deal breaker on wanting to stay in the standard rooms here again, and the overall vibe just wasn't quite as laid back as some of the other Disney resorts we've stayed at, like the Polynesian Resort, which continues to be one of our top monorail resort picks. For both amenities and how much there is to do there for kids, we just found that there was more to do and it kept our kids more entertained. If you have littles, you're going to be spending all of your theme park days at Magic Kingdom, or if you're particularly looking for a resort to go to a party night, Grand Floridian may be a choice you want to consider in one of those situations. Honestly, all the monorail resorts work great if you have a party night, you just need something to get back to quickly after those late party nights. And again, if I had to pick one based on the theming and the overall vibe of the resort, my top monorail resort is pretty much always going to be the Polynesian. So for our family, we really don't plan to stay here again in the near future, and we'll share a little bit more about that in our deluxe resort ranking, where we talk about all of the deluxe resorts and which aspects of those work the best and kind of keep us coming back to some of them. But we do rate the Grand Floridian higher on our ranking for an adults only stay if you're going as a couple, and I will link that down below so you can read that article as well too, because the Grand Floridian really is geared towards adults and is really an elegant adult stay. It has outstanding dining, and with the new bar being put in the lobby, it's really kind of a great upscale place for adults. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our Disney planning tips and reviews. Head over to momswithmouseears.com for more information and tips to get started on planning your time at Walt Disney World. Grab those mouse ears and let's get planning.